Connecticut's legislative session wrapped up last night. I'm Glenn Kittle. I'll take you through some of the bills that went through coming up on Fox 61.
A lot to unpack with that. We're checking in with Glenn and getting an update on all the bills that were passed through in just a bit. But good morning to you and happy Thursday. We're glad you're starting yours off with us here at Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus America Areas.
And I'm Bridget Pure. I hope your morning is off to a great start despite the rain that is coming down at a pretty steady pace in places. Let's check in with Fox 61's Rachel Pescatelli, timing it all out. Rachel, good morning.
Good morning. We are following a few showers this morning, but by the afternoon we should see increasing sunshine. It's just going to be a cooler day overall. So early showers now. Grab that umbrella, especially if you're west or rather east of 84 this morning, where we're seeing some of the steadiest rain coming down in spots. You'll see on our satellite and radar picture we're already starting to dry out here in the capital with overcast skies. We have a couple of more moderate showers along 395 as you're traveling up towards Killingly, just north of Brooklyn this morning, Putnam and Pomfret, and then down towards Plainfield, Griswold, seeing some steady rain coming down at a good clip, as well as along the shoreline towards Old Saybrook. So rain wraps up between about now and the 9 o'clock hour. So we'll go from steadier rain in eastern areas to more of a scattered shower under overcast skies. But by the late morning and early afternoon, you'll see the clouds begin to clear. We have sunshine that comes out, wind shift out of the north, and it is a cooler day overall. It'll bring in those numbers that are closer to the lower 60s, unfortunately, than where we should be for this time of year, which is the lower 70s and really the upper 60s as well. So we do have a lot of sun throughout the afternoon hours. Temperatures out the door this morning are cooler than this time yesterday, anywhere from 5 to 10. Our numbers this morning, upper 40s to right around 50 degrees. Planning your day after the clouds and the rain move out. We have sun, but temperatures move to the lower 60s, and it is a nice evening overall, but there is a chance for maybe a passing shower overnight into Friday morning. Friday also looking cool, and then unfortunately we are tracking some rain for the first part of our weekend. We'll have more details on that coming up in just a bit. Here at 6:02 on our roads, we are largely quiet across the state, with the exception of our Fairfield County drive times. Bridgeport into Fairfield around 13, Darien to Westport 8, no delays through Westport. Over to you.
All right, Rachel, thank you. 6:02, back to that breaking news we've been following all morning long out of Killingly. Route 101 is back open this morning after a single vehicle crash closed a section of the Hartford Pike for several hours overnight. And now that the sun is rising, we're getting a better look at the damage left behind. Fox 61's Stefan Rios is live from the crash site with the very latest. And Stefan, we're learning that a car, did it go through a home?
Yeah, Bridget, and you're really about to see just how intense this crash really was. I'll step out of the way so you can really get a good view of everything. It's really hard to tell what really led up to this situation, but there are a few trash receptacles, trash cans, recycling bins right up the road that looks like they were mangled, potentially by what happened last night. According to the Connecticut Department of Transportation, it does appear that this crash was reported around a little bit before 11 p.m. And you can see right to the left, and eventually once our producer hits the video we sent a little earlier, you can really see how intense this crash really was. Pretty much the entirety of the front bit of the house was taken out. Now, you can still see straight into the wall. I was there a little bit earlier, and you can see just either the sconces or the chandeliers hanging from the ceiling. You just had a clear view of what looked like the living room. But the entire front has now been sectioned off. There is a sign that says that this is structurally unsafe, so it's unlikely anyone will be able to get inside anytime soon. We have reached out to Connecticut State Police to see if there is anything else that they can provide us right now. We haven't heard back from them at this time, so we will update you as we learn more. But for now, live in Killingly, Stefan Rios, Fox 61.
All right, Stefan, thanks for the update there in Killingly. Meantime, Connecticut's legislative session came down to the wire, wrapping up late last night with a flurry of major decisions. Lawmakers pushed through a new state budget and approved sweeping measures, but not everything made it across the finish line. Fox 61's Glenn Kittle is live in Hartford with a fast-paced recap of what got done and also what didn't. Glenn, good morning.
Good morning, Erica. Yeah, we're going to go through some of the three bills that went through. One involving consumer protection for ticket prices, another for sports betting advertising, and another one that develops a task force to address Connecticut's affordability crisis. Let's get into the first one there, shall we? Connecticut House Bill 5229, that's known as the Act Concerning Gaming. That's going to tighten up rules on online sports betting, bans gambling ads on college campuses, sets new standards for withdrawing funds, and requires live customer service and prohibits the use of AI to target certain bets aimed at protecting consumers. Now, there's also the Act Concerning Entertainment and Event Tickets. That targets ticket resales. It increases transparency, limits selling tickets not in hand, cracks down on deceptive sites, and requires refunds for canceled events aimed at protecting consumers from hidden fees and inflated prices. Now, House Bill 5163, that's the one that creates that task force to tackle affordability in Connecticut. They're going to be studying what works, identifying barriers, and recommending solutions. That group would include lawmakers, state officials, and leaders in housing, childcare, labor, and education. All of those bills passed the House and the Senate during this legislative session, and all of those bills are now on Governor Ned Lamont's desk, just awaiting for his signature. Live in Hartford, Glenn Kittle, Fox 61. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Glenn, thank you for the update there. Yeah, what a busy night for those lawmakers. The family of a baby boy killed by his father in 2015 says there were warning signs before his death, and more could have been done to protect the child. In court yesterday, the child's aunt took the stand, describing abuse in the home leading up to the child's death. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules takes us inside the courtroom where prosecutors are trying to prove that Child Protective Services were negligent in how they handled the case.
Along with sharing several alarming behaviors from the child's father, Aiden Moreno's aunt testified that DCF wasn't present at a major court hearing in the case, despite telling her and her sister they would be there.
He was controlling, he was manipulative, and he was verbally abusive.
Vivian McNeil, Aiden's aunt, testified that Tony Moreno, Aiden's father, would dictate how much her sister, Adrienne Iola, could communicate with her during their relationship. In June of 2015, Iola and Aiden moved out of Moreno's mother's home and into McNeil's home. She testified Tony's behavior was becoming more aggressive and manipulative.
I was worried that while John and I were not around, he was going to either physically or verbally abuse her and Aiden.
She says Moreno was excited to be a father, but once the baby was born, everything changed. She testified that he showed a lack of concern for the baby's well-being. A temporary restraining order was granted at one point, stopping Moreno from being near Iola and Aiden. There was a court hearing held to extend the temporary restraining order, for which McNeil was told a DCF worker would be present.
Since she said she was going to be there, I was under the impression that she would help Adrian through the process of getting that restraining order extended.
Despite the worker assuring her DCF would be there, she says they never showed up. The restraining order was vacated on June 29th. 7-month-old Aiden was killed on July 5th, just 6 days later, when Moreno threw him off the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. Janet Cardona, who was the investigative and social work supervisor for DCF at the time of the case, also took the stand. She testified that DCF was aware of Moreno's criminal history, including his previous charges of risk of injury and sexual assault of a minor. When asked by Iola's attorney, Cardona said DCF didn't consider Moreno to be a safe parent.
There was attempts made to interview Mr. Moreno and see Mr. Moreno unsuccessfully during the investigation.
However, she says DCF did make a visit to the home where the three were living for 2 years.
DCF social worker, this employee, actually went to the house of Trump's grandmother, right?
Yes.
An economist also took the stand to explain how he appraised the estate of Aiden Moreno. The family is seeking $15 million in damages from DCF with this lawsuit. In Waterbury, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Investigators are working to find out what led to a man's death near Easton Avenue in Waterbury. Now, you may remember that we were following this breaking news very closely yesterday morning. It all started at about 3:15 in the morning when police got a call about gunshots. When they got there, police found a man dead inside a blue Hyundai with gunshot wounds to his head. Jeffrey Mitchell was picking up his co-worker nearby when he heard about what happened.
And it was shocking when I turned the corner. I'm like, all these news people out here. I knew something serious happened, and it's sad to wake up, to some tragedy that happened. It's just sad.
Police have not yet identified the victim or said what led up to the shooting. And a 44-year-old man has been arraigned for the murder of his wife in Beacon Falls. Police say the homicide happened in a mobile home park on 2nd Street. They say Adam Dredzowski called 911 just before noon on Tuesday and said that he, quote, lost his mind and killed someone. Prosecutors said that the victim was his wife, Naisha Dredzowski. He is now locked up on a $2 million bond. The judge who oversaw Dredzowski's arraignment cited mental health concerns based on conversations that police say they had with him. Dredzowski's next court appearance has been scheduled for Monday. And stick with us. We have a lot more to come here on Fox 621. The big question is, did Apple oversell the AI features on the iPhone 16? Coming up, the company's multi-million-dollar settlement and how some of you might be getting some cash back.
Also this morning, small businesses in Connecticut took the spotlight yesterday with owners awarded for their accomplishments on the Small Business Week. We'll take a look at the event next.